Opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or messages posted in chat are strictly their own personal views and do not reflect the views of Bolin Services Inc., a 501c3 nonprofit organization, nor does it reflect the views of the sponsors of this program. Political commentary, if any, are strictly personal opinions and should not be construed as endorsements of or opposition to any political party, candidate, or voter initiative by Bolin Services Inc. This audio-visual presentation is copyrighted by Kenneth W. Bolin. No rebroadcast, retransmission, simulcast, or other distribution of this video or the audio associated with it is permitted without the express written permission of Kenneth W. Bolin. All original content on this presentation is owned in full and solely by Kenneth W. Bolin.
Warning, the following podcast has extremely high levels of Kenny Bolin. Studies have shown that excessive exposure to Kenny Bolin may have damaging effects to your physical and mental well-being. Viewer discretion is advised. No, seriously, we mean it. There will be naughty words, lots of them, probably. Now you've been warned. This warning sponsored by the Story Time with Dutch Mantel.
Well, here we are. Do I have the screen adjusted right? I don't know. Let me look. That's not the way. I guess that's good enough. That'll have to work. Let's go to comments over here so we can see if anybody's in here. Of course not. It has been an interesting, trying to see how many hours. It ain't been 12 hours yet. I'm going to save the story because, guys, I am apparently pretty lucky to be here. Or at least that's what I thought. We will get into the story on the Thursday night show because I'm still shocked I'm here to do a show tonight. Just in a nutshell, last night at about in the neighborhood of 2:30 in the morning, I got up to go to the bathroom and noticed that it was very difficult for me to get out of bed and make it to the bathroom. Now, the bathroom is a grand total of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a total of 5 steps from my bathroom. It took me, as the best as I can comprehend time, it took me almost 20 minutes, give or take, to get from my bed to go 5 steps to the bathroom. And then once I sat down, my lower extremities gave out. I had no juice in my legs whatsoever. Couldn't get up to even adjust on the toilet seat, more or less, to do anything else. So the legs have nothing. And I will get into everything that took place. Basically, I'm thinking Alexa might have saved my life. I don't know. I have never, ever, in all the times I've been to the hospital and the ER, going back to 01, 02, whenever I went in with congestive heart failure, I've been told 4 times I'm not coming out of the hospital. Only one of those 4 times I was thinking, yeah, they might be right. And then after day 13 in the hospital, things started to look up, and I'm going home. First 13 days, I wasn't so sure. That was, that's been a few moons ago. That was probably the trip that I went into around, 2013, maybe 2014. I do know Jimmy come down to the hospital to see me that time, and he was looking for where the money was. I don't even know how much you guys know. I didn't make it real public what happened. All I know is that when I was laying in the floor, and yeah, they did have to call the meat wagon to come and get me. All I know is that when I was laying in the floor, I was convinced I was going to die. I did not want to pull an Elvis Presley and whoever else has died on a commode. I did not want that to happen, so I more or less threw myself into the floor to die, because that's what I thought was going to happen. And basically laid there. I made an emergency call on my device. And fortunately, that person's number was in there, and that they were able to understand me and get help over here. I'll go into the rest of the details later, but oh my God, I gave up. When help got here, I told them, just take care of my dogs. I don't have long to live. I'm never getting up from here. I'm never going to make it back to my bed, and I'm certainly never going to see my computer desk again. And this is all shit that I knew. Don't worry about me. I'm done. Take care of my dogs. That's why you're here. As coherently as I could put it. Because apparently I wasn't very coherent at the time either. According to many. I think they were 6 or 7 here from the ambulance crew. And so from 2:30 to 7:30, I could not move my legs an inch. I mean, there was nothing there. And then when I threw myself into the floor, apparently that gave me a fighting chance to get some blood flow back, or I don't know what happened, but it's like I said, I'll get into the details of all this on the Thursday show. Right now, I am just very thankful to be here. No, I didn't have I did tell the ambulance crew, I said, I now see why some people find Jesus when they're near death, because this is the closest that I thought I was. I've had 4 doctors in 4 different hospitals tell me I'm not going home. And all 4 times, like, you're wasting your fucking time. I'm going home. Other than that one where I was in there for 13 days. Well, I don't want anything to happen to me either, but I was convinced I was done. A lot of people younger than me have been dying lately. So, no regrets, no pity. I wasn't laying there crying, oh, save me. No. I didn't come to the conclusion I was done. I was not going to live. Broke out into a horrible sweat. Still not exactly sure what caused that, because I'm fine now. Thought maybe deep inside my head, maybe I got the new COVID. No, don't have symptom 1. Like I said, it'll almost take the whole show tomorrow to try to explain everything. But at about 10:30, 11:30 this morning, I started perking up a little bit. I talked them out of taking me to the hospital. I had to sign a waiver because I felt I was, about 8:30, 7:30, 8:30, I felt I was going to make it. And not the feeling I had the previous 5-6 hours. Because I'm telling you guys, I'd given up. And I don't give up. Not when it comes to life and death. I don't give up. But the good thing I liked about it is that I was all right with it. Save the dogs. Save the dogs. Because I'm done. But not a tear. No, well, maybe there is a God. No, none of that. But none of that's ever happened in the hospital either. So I'm cool with whatever happens when it happens. The good thing about last night is that I know when death does come, and it is going to. No one's defeated it yet, regardless of all the rumors. I'm all right with it. I ain't thrilled or happy about it. I like to be here. I like to come on here and do these shows and entertain a few people and help a few people. That's the reason for the show. But with 10,000 subscribers, and I thought in my head I was going to die last night, and there's a few of you that know. 23 people give a shit. Well, no, I think there's more than 23 people give a shit. Just for some reason, they just can't, out of 10,000 subscribers, can't get access to the show. I don't know. There is a boss badge up there in the corner. I don't know. Which one is that? Is that the Jimmy John's? Probably so. Probably so. I am only going to be here for a very short period of time. Life or death wise, I guess. If we make over 60, I'll stay longer. I'm not anticipating anyone's going to donate worth a shit, to be honest with you. A dream I had, I guess. Let me look. If we raise 60 or more, I will stay for a little, about an hour. And if we don't, because our last show did not do very well either. Well, shit, phone. What the fuck? You think I cussed a lot before? All right, I got to reset my phone. Got to restart it. Something's... Are you shitting me? No, it won't even restart. And I don't know how to do it. Well, I'm at the mercy of whenever it decides to work again. I don't know. Let's try the iPhone. And this only happens on Facebook Messenger. As a rule. Alright. Trying to see if we have any donations. I'm pretty much betting there's a slim chance. In case y'all wondering, yeah, I even worked today. Started about 1 or 2 o'clock. One of the hotels I called today wants us to do business with them. There we go. All right. Yep, so far we have no donations. So. Apparently we are on Facebook tonight. I didn't know if we would or would not be. Bob just lovingly set the show up tonight. It was very sweet of him to do that. He was all ears and couldn't wait to be of some help. Don't look for any sympathy from your co-host when you think you're going to die. Don't look for any, because there ain't none there. Well, if you're broke, then don't donate anything. I told you that when you donated $5 the other day. If you're broke, don't donate anything. If you have a few dollars and can help these people, what were the requests I got in? Because like I said, I don't think most of the Filipinos knew about this. Maybe just a handful that were trying to contact me all night and couldn't. I am scatterbrained as hell tonight, guys. So I'm just trying to do my best to remember. I had to wash my... If you just saw my hair before the show started, I didn't even want to go outside and let the dogs out. I didn't even log porch time tonight. We had a little bit of a storm. The rain didn't amount to a whole hell of a lot, so I didn't miss much. But my hair looks so bad, I didn't even go out on the porch. It was a bad day. But in other ways, it's been a good day because I didn't expect to be here today. So by those standards, it's been a good day. And you do appreciate life a little bit more when you are convinced your last day is here. And I was convinced. I knew my last waking moments were going to be on that bathroom floor laying face down. So when I actually made it to the bed and could set up, that was a step in the right direction. It was 5-6 hours later, but that was a step in the right direction. And then when I actually at about 11:30 got out of bed to take, well, not really take them out, but sit at the door to let them go out. That was something I didn't think was ever going to happen again. And then all my vitals came back pretty good, shockingly, for what I went through. So all right, I'll do the show tonight. You know, that's what people were expecting me to do, and that's the only way we help people. But guys, I already sent out yesterday before I got bad sick. I'd already sent out $70 of my own money helping people, hoping that we would do good tonight. And whether that'll happen or not, I do not know. But, you know, so we definitely wanted to make at least 60 tonight just to kind of reimburse what we've already put out. And, a happy birthday to Kimberly. Had her 18th birthday yesterday. She had never been to a Jollibee. She had never had a birthday cake. This is the story she's telling me. I don't know why she'd lie about it. And between some money that we'd sent them for help with other things and rice and bras and panties and shoes and all that stuff, we're still trying to help her siblings get shoes. There's 3 more kids that need shoes. I paid for another pair yesterday, getting him a pair of Nikes. No, Nikes do not cost over there what they do here. Go figure. It was like $9 for a pair of Nikes. Are they knockoffs? I don't know. The kid will be happy with them. They don't know. But he's getting a pair of Nikes. She's already got her shoes. And we got, I think, 2 or 3 more kids that need shoes in that family, and they're running about $9 or $10 a pair. So if anybody would like to sponsor Kimberly's brothers' shoes, and they're about $10 a pair, it'd be nice of you if you sponsored a kid for a pair of shoes. Remember, none of us are guaranteed tomorrow, especially apparently me. There's Ruby May. Hi, Ruby. Ruby, you thought I was mad at you, honey. Anytime you're doing your work, you know, I got no reason to be mad at you, and I know you weren't able to come home. Something come up about schoolwork. Don't worry about that. I understand. I'm not going to be mad at you for doing work, sweetie. Do your work. And I know you wanted to go home, and I think you had to delay that. So, no, just save your money and go home when you can. I understand. Don't worry about it. I can watch your show for a while because it's our break time. Oh, okay. Oh, you're at break at school? Okay, sweetie. Yeah, I helped a few of you yesterday. That was weird. We didn't have the money, but there's a few of you that just needed a little bit of help. It was like $10 each. So like 4 of you got that because it was just, that little bit was going to make your day and your situation a lot better. So we helped as many of you as we could. And happy birthday to Kimberly. Got to go to a Jolly Beach. Got her a small cake. And first time ever at Jolly Beach. First time ever. And she was so appreciative that we made it possible for her to go there. So if $10 did that for her, and she readjusted her bra and panty money, she still got some, but not as many as she's going to buy. And I get a bonus check on the 18th. And I'll do my best to be of some help to her then. And then the 21st, whatever YouTube money we get, that's going to be way down, but still. We do the best we can. Hey, Vanessa. And so, like I said, I don't even know how many of you know what happened last night. I sure as fuck wasn't expecting it. And it looks like I'm only going to be here about 10 more minutes because I don't think anyone has donated a dime yet. I don't think. Oh, look. Oh, look. We do not. We do not. Well, I had predicted last night this probably was not going to go good. Just got some information about Mark Henry that I'd like to have seen. That probably was pretty good. And what is tonight, Tuesday? I've seen nothing of Raw, so I have no idea what happened there. At home, my blood pressure went through the roof. Well, my blood pressure was very low when they took my blood pressure. It was real low. And then after they got me set up on the bed and I got blood flow going back to my legs and stuff again, I got my blood pressure right back to normal. It was about 122 122 over 77, something like that. So that got back to be pretty good. But no, guys, it don't look like I'm going to be here long because no one's donated 1 penny to help any of these people yet. Not even to reimburse us from last night. And I don't have the energy to sit here for free. Oh, I do need to give a shout out for Chris Wilmot, if I'm pronouncing his name right. I don't have Willamot. He's with me over on Twitter, and I'm verified over on Twitter now to help promote the Anthony Scaramucci show. And he has pointed out that WWE should give me a little bit more credit, or maybe a mention from time to time, for all the talent that I personally sent there. Not just that came out of OVW, but just that we sent up personally, like John Cena, The Miz, Lance Cade, Sylvester Turkey, Shad Gaspard, Carlito, many others, 54 in total. And but I think they're terrified they're going to have to pay me money if they do. I think that's their deal. I've had attorneys tell me that I could probably get some out of them for putting me in this other thing. I think Rebecca did it again when she told me she's broke 2 times in a row and I told her not to donate. At least she kept us from being shut out, I guess. Looks like Becky Adcock donated $5, even though I told her not to, because she said I'm broke. She told me that the other day and she donated $5, even though I told her not to. But thank you, Becky, but I keep telling you not to do that, honey. But it's appreciated. But yeah, you're the only one who's donated anything tonight. I started a little bit late, so I will be here 10 more minutes. See how we do. If we raise 60, I'll stay. If not, try it again Thursday and see who gives a shit. Apparently nearly dined it now. At least I thought I was. All right. Anybody got any questions? Because we are not going to be here long tonight. Coltrane said he'd be late. Coltrane, don't even bother because, like I said, if we're not going to make any money for these people and I show up off my fucking deathbed to come in here and try and raise money for these people, well, doesn't look like anybody else can be bothered other than Becky Adcock. So, if y'all want to donate after the show, you know where to find me. And if you don't, then don't. Well, Jambi, honey, I try to help you, but it takes a team of us, and our team is taking the night off the past couple of nights. We had a couple people chip in and donate the other night, but we didn't do very well. Brady Hicks says they're up to 3,300 streams. Yeah, it looks like we got a touch more info. Remember, I sent out $70 yesterday. Before I even thought I was going to die. But you know what? If I was knowing I was going to die, I'd probably send 80. TC from the NC has donated $10. So that's 15. Beats a shutout, right? And, but yeah, honey, I try to help you all, but it takes more than 2 donations, honey. I'm trying. Seeing if we got any other updates here. And I'm probably not going to elaborate too much on what happened to me because I'm not gathering anybody gives a shit anyway. So, not here to bore you. I'm here now, and I guess that's all that matters, so I probably won't elaborate too much on Thursday. Thought I was going to die, and I didn't. Case closed. Beats the alternative, right? If you're me. Apparently we got 5 people watching on Facebook. Bless their little hearts. 12,000 followers on Facebook. And 5 people are watching. Tell me I ain't messed with. Thank you, Cassandra. Cassandra's watching the show, and she just donated $10. So that's 25. 10, 20, there's 25. Well, Becky, it ain't worth getting into. I'm here. I made it. But thank you, Cassandra. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. I just saw your $10 donation. Thank you very much. Very sweet of you. Looks like we had another donation come in. Let me check. Daniel Limley cares about me. He donated $15. Thank you, Daniel. So that gets us to 40. And then shout out to Cassandra out in Oklahoma, I believe. Thank you, Cassandra. So $10 from Cassandra. $5 from Becky Adcock, even though I told her not to. TC from the NC, who was on the show the other day. And then when he went off the show, I started bad-mouthing him. Maybe that's why the good Lord nearly struck me dead. Yeah. I don't give him credit for saving me. Don't give him credit for striking me dead. Time and erosion normally handles that. But yeah, thank you, Cassandra. That's very sweet of you. So 10, 25, 35. So we have 40. So if we make another $20 within the next 6 minutes, I'll go ahead and stay the full hour. answer all your all's questions that are members, or have made at least a small donation. Hi, Eunice. How you doing, sweetie? Poor Eunice had a... And I read this when I was in a very incoherent stage, so I thought maybe it was part of a dream, and there's no way all this shit happened to Eunice's family, on top of all the other shit they're dealing with. But somebody broke into their home last night, right about the time that I collapsed in the bathroom and thought I was paralyzed and was going to die. Eunice's family gets robbed. They steal their 32-inch TV. They steal their stereo and the gasoline in her motorcycle. If there was more stolen, I don't remember. That was pretty much what I remember reading on the phone. And I was so out of it, I said, there's no way that just happened. This is part of the dream. And I'm just dreaming that bad shit is happening to Eunice's family. But when I got more coherent around 11 o'clock in the morning, I reread the message, and it was pretty much what I read when I was out of it. So... worst case scenario, it would help to at least put her some gas in her motorcycle so she can go back and forth to school. No, we can't replace the TV or the stereo, but I think we could at least get her some gas to put in her motorcycle. That's normally about $20 as well. So we're trying to raise another 20 to stay here for another half hour on top of what I've done. And if anybody would like to sponsor those kids' shoes, the $10 donations we will use to help those kids with their shoes. And because each $10 will probably get each kid a pair of shoes. And if anybody wants to sponsor Eunice a tank of gas, that's about $20, so she can get back and forth to school for about 2 weeks. It's not a bad investment there for whoever has the ability to do that. And yeah, the algorithms must be something. I talk about Hulk Hogan and we get 3,000 combined views in 24 hours. Me dying, no one cares. Hogan died, everybody want to talk about that. Fuck me. I guess I had to actually die to get the good coverage. But see, then I wouldn't know. I'm trying to give you a pre-death show. Not often do you get to come on a show and thank a guy before he dies. Or to tell him how bad you hate him. There's Kimberly, fresh off her 18th birthday. She's watching the show. Hi, Kimberly. I think she says she goes by Kim. But yeah, experienced her first ever Jollibee and her first ever small little birthday cake. So glad that she could get to do such a thing. The small things in life. The small things in life. But I did all that before I got stricken down. Those $70 in donations, thinking that we would make it back on tonight's show, got the best of me. Trying to see if we got anything else in here. We're about to find out. You know my face by now. iPhone, open the goddamn phone. Oh, the dark glasses might be going off. Well, we got 2 minutes, guys. And, yeah, we got Cassandra's donation and Daniel Limley's were the last two. TC from the NC and then the $5 from Becky. Which takes us to 60. Oh, my God, can you stop saying that? Oh, about a couple of you. Not the algorithms, that's for damn sure. No, but I truly do. I feel it's a miracle I'm sitting here because I didn't think that was going to happen. Randy, the Macho Man Satterley, looks like he has saved the evening. He got in here a little bit late, but he has a tendency to come in at the buzzer to see if anyone else is going to do anything. And Randy Macho Man Satterley has donated $25. Randy, is there anything particular to put that towards? Because like I said, we are looking for a $20 sponsor for Eunice's motorcycle. We're looking for 3 $10 sponsors on the shoes. I've got other requests in there too, but I was just trying to remember in my head who all was needing what. And like I said, I took care of $70 of it last night. And in all honesty, I sent the wrong money to one of the people, but I knew the girl needed $10 for food anyway. She's traveling back home. Cheska. I accidentally sent money to Cheska that was supposed to go to the birthday party. She said, well, that's not me. I'm going to tell. I said, well, the good thing is Cheska could use $10 for food because she's traveling a long way to go home. So, and she hasn't even seen she's got the $10 yet. So hopefully that'll be a big help to her. Hopefully she can get it because it got sent to a store. She might have to have the store send her the money to where her family is. And then another kid needed $10 for school supplies. And then we had $30 other in donations go out too. Alrighty, so let's see. I'm sorry what happened to you, Kenny. Don't wish. Well, at least I know I'm not your worst person, so I got that going for me. Yeah, it was weird, guys. It was weird. Like I said, I was messed up real bad for about 6-7 hours, and when you convince yourself it's over, that is a weird place to be in. And so today has been a very appreciative day. I even grilled me some salmon today. I haven't grilled me any salmon in a while. I've had quite a bit in the freezer. And trying to think. Oh, I did find out that my credit card that I financed Choco's expenses on is 0% interest through May 31st of next year. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that 17.9% is supposed to be considered a good percentage these days. I thought it was outrageous. I remember having credit cards back in the 90s, early 90s, that were 7-8%, wasn't much. But fuck, I thought 17% was outrageous. So I keep getting all these other credit card offers, 29%, 36%, 37%. So who the hell wants that? Who the hell's going to finance at that rate other than a Filipino? And so I don't take them. So when I contacted my own company yesterday, before all this shit happened, it turned out I had earned a bunch of rewards points, which I didn't know how to transfer them. So they showed me how to get the transfer done. And I said, well, how much, what does that convert to? They said, well, you got 1,700 plus points. So it means you have $170.92. I said, really? When do I get that? They said, well, we're transferring it to your corporate account and you'll have it by Friday. I said, all because I charged my dog's funeral on that card? They said, well, that and whatever else you've charged on there. And you made your payments on time and everything, and you get rewards points. And I said, well, how long am I going to get those? They said, well, May 31st of next year. Well, what interest am I paying right now? Oh, you're 0% right now. Well, I assume 30 days, 60 days. No, till May 31st next year. So that's good. Well, there's Lemonhead back after been a member for 35 months. Look at Lemonhead. We need all those we can get. Yeah, we haven't seen Lemonhead in a long time. Good to see you. And so we're still checking to see if anybody would like to sponsor Eunice on her gasoline, so that we can use money to go other places in need right now. That would be a big help in itself right there. Like I said, we're not asking to replace her television. Eventually, we will try to have them find something used that maybe we can get them at a reduced rate. I mean, I'm sure they're really going to miss their TV. But they do have a tube TV in the house for the meantime, so at least they got something to watch. But I bought them the 32-inch TV years ago. When they lived at their old address. We probably bought that 3 years ago. And, oh well. So, what is today? Tuesday? So Thursday I finally get my hair cut. That'll be good. We're having a corporate meeting. God be with us. Never assume. Never assume. The good Lord be with us, for those of you that believe in such a thing. Kenny, do you believe it? No, I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. With Blaze Pizza. We will be at Blaze on Thursday, and right after we do the hair thing over with my good friend Brittany over at Sam's, and Fantastic Sam's, I should say. And then we're going to have the big old corporate meeting over at Blaze Pizza. So shout out to the sponsors. Arby's had some of that a couple days ago. Five Guys I have not been to in a while. And in all transparency, we are probably looking to get a deal with Sonic, because Sonic is under the Arby's and Jimmy John's umbrella, along with a couple of other BW3s. We're also pretty confident we're going to be having BW3s up here to replace our chicken place. And may God bewitched you. Well, there you go. There's one way to look at it. And but yeah, Blaze Pizza we will be going to on Thursday, possibly to Arby's over the weekend. And Jimmy John's, I told them, because they have treated us so good for our first few shows, I told Jimmy John's I was going to cut them some slack until we do our show August 28th with Anthony Scaramucci. They wanted to cater that show. And so I told them that now if they invite me, that's one thing, but we will not really be pursuing on our deal, so to say, our 2-week deal, until August the 28th, because they have treated us so good our first couple of 3 weeks with Jimmy John's. So so in the near future, I will be shocked if I don't get Sonic and BW3s aboard, because they are under that same umbrella. And I thought it'd be pretty cool that if we got our favorite groups out of that umbrella with us, and Sonic has a nice round logo too, so that'd be good. And plus Sonic the Hedgehog is very big in the Philippines, so that they will enjoy that. And so yeah, I don't know what we've done that messes with our algorithm so bad. For those of you that watch the show, what I've been told is that you have to unsubscribe, resubscribe, and then click all notifications. And from what I've been told, if you do that, you'll be notified when the show goes on. The Cincinnati Reds, last I saw, are a game and a half out of the wild card. Disappointing loss last night to the Phillies. We were leading 1-0 in the 8th inning. Our ace pitcher was doing a hell of a job, and then, of course, Kyle Schwarber. And then 4 runs later, we get beat 4-1 last night. I have not watched today's game yet, but I will eventually. So thank you once again, Randy the Macho Man Satterley, for being the star of the game, getting us over the $60 mark. That gets us to $65. That's still 5 less than I sent out yesterday. And like I said, we're looking to see if anybody out there would like to sponsor any of the kids on those $10 shoes. There's at least 3 kids that need those. And also anybody that would like to sponsor Eunice on her gasoline. That's junk, so that ain't going to help us any. How do I get out of junk? Oh, good God. All right, trying to find my inbox. Bear with me. These shows are a blast when I'm by myself, aren't they? Well, he's not acting like a dead guy. One way to look at it. Nope. No other donations as of yet. At least the Google phone's working again. Got that going for us. Anybody got any questions? Y'all wanted me to stay another half hour, so seems like you might have some questions. I haven't seen anything that happened on Raw. Did anything happen on Raw worth talking about? That's a Pepsi Zero, in case anybody's wondering. But had some real good grilled salmon tonight. I've only had half of it. I will sponsor 1 pair of shoes. You need to go to bed, baby. You don't feel right. Well, no, I got a 3-hour nap before the show started. I'm all right. I'm all right. As Rodney Dangerfield used to say, I'm all right now, but last night I was in rough shape, you know? And I was. But no, sleep-wise, I'm fairly well caught up. I know that those gummies did and did not do certain things. I think I'm out of the gummies. not out of them. I'm just not going to use them anymore. I've tried 2 or 3 different kinds, and they're just not, they're not doing anything for pain. That's for damn sure. The sleep might make me drowsy for a little bit, and then I sleep for an hour or two, and then I'll wake up, okay, and then it'll hit me later and let me sleep maybe 3 or 4 hours. So it's weird, but I don't really want to do it that way, to where I don't know when I'm going to be sleepy. So, not doing that. Well, honey, I can assure you, you're no more. And like I said, I didn't fear it. I was just convinced that it was my last day, and I was worried because I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave the dogs. I didn't want to quit podcasting or quit my job or any of that stuff. I was just laying there going, this is how it is. You're not getting up. You're not going to ever see your bed again, even though it was 5 feet away, 8 feet. You're never going to make it to your computer desk. It's about 20 feet away. And this is where you're going to die. And that's just how I was convinced. I don't know what happened. They didn't give me any shots. They didn't do anything to bring me back or anything. It's just, once they finally got me up on my feet, and took 3 of them to get me to my bed, which was shocking. I thought it might take all 7 of them. But no, it's been a different perspective type of day. Like I said, not from a religious standpoint, because apparently that's just not in me. But it makes you appreciate the day before a little bit more. I mean, I was laying there thinking, I was happy that I'd sent out that $70 to those kids that needed it, because 3 of them, $10 made a big difference for their day. Just made their day so much better. And I was going to make them wait until we raised the money here on the show. And I said, no, fuck it. Just send it to them. We'll make it back eventually. And when you know in your head you're going to die, it is weird how you process stuff. I'm glad I had the experience, because it's the closest I've ever felt that I was not going to see tomorrow. I remember they come to take me to the hospital back around 2012, 2013, and I'd always fight going to the hospital. I never wanted to go. My home health nurse comes, because she'd come twice a week. She shows up, and apparently I'm in a bad fucking way. And she says, Kenny, you do not look good. And I said, I know. She takes the vitals and everything. Kenny, your vitals are not good. I said, I didn't think they would be. She says, Kenny, you got to go to the hospital. I said, okay. She says, okay, you're agreeing with me? I said, yeah. You're not going to fight me? No. Why not? I said, because I need to go to the hospital. So she said that was the only time that I ever willingly agreed to go to the hospital. And when I got there, about day 3 or 4 is when they started sending preachers around and asking me if I had any family members that wanted to come down and see me. Not really phrasing it to say goodbye to, but you can tell what they were doing. And I asked the preacher, I said, do you know something I don't know? And he just looked at me. He said, well, we would just like for you to reach out to anybody that you would like here at your bedside to come see you. I said, I'm just going to have you take that story to some other people. I said, because I ain't going anywhere. And that was day 4. And then about day 13, I really convinced myself I was going home. Took a few more days. But Dr. Scooby. Oh, Scooby come. I remember laying in the floor. I didn't see Cal much. Cal was probably trying to figure out where the bank account was, or where the extra dog food was. But Scooby was crying and stayed with me. Because it affected him too. He's a loving dog. Cow is too. He just processes shit a little differently. And the old dog too. But when I hurt, Scooby hurts. And he's been that way since I've had him. And when we go to bed at night, he cuddles into me. He cannot go to sleep if he's not cuddled into me. And you see how big he is. And, but yeah, I remember him kissing me in the face a lot of times last night. And he wouldn't leave. He wasn't going to let me go. I'm not alone. Even though I think deep down inside, Cal might love me more because I've had him since he was 4 months old. But I've had Scooby since he was 4 months. Cal's birthday will be September 16th. We had to move it a day for obvious reasons. And Scooby's birthday will be 11/11. And I remember when I called a family member last night, I said, look at there. I said, I called you on Scooby's birthday. Because the phone said 11/11 when I made the call. And then the shit went south at about 2:30 in the morning. So, but no, Scooby, he's pretty loving. I'd forgot how he would not leave me last night. Especially when I hit the floor. Because he's never seen that. You know, I've got my rough days every now and then, but he'd never seen me laying in the floor. Well, I thought I was going to get through the show without crying, Becky, but he just wasn't going to let me go. It is amazing what they know. It really is. And that Choco was something special, too. I don't know how she would have handled yesterday. She'd probably laid in the bed and said, well, your spot's up here whenever you get your big ass up. Would probably been how she would have handled it. But, yeah. But no, Scooby's my boy. Cal was around. I could hear him. But Scooby was just right there on my head, kissing me in the face and trying to nudge me and, you know, just... He didn't want me to go. Oh, shit. Well, I didn't aim to go there, guys. But y'all know I love my boy. And I'm not in any hurry to leave them. Well, he does especially. He knows when it's raining because he knows I love to go on the porch and watch it rain. So he comes to get me when it's raining, especially if it's raining hard and hits the window because he knows that's my favorite storms. If it's a light storm, he don't get too worked up over it. But when he knows it's raining outside, he comes to get me in case I didn't know. He's a special dog. Shit. Bet you Bob and Coltrane are glad they didn't show up for tonight. Kimberly's watching the show. How are you? You don't look like you're doing good. Mm-hmm. I'm better than I look, sweetie. I'm better than I look. And once again, shout out to Cassandra, who's so sweet, and thank you for donating. And let's see here. Oh boy. There's Jambi. Hi, Jambi. Yeah, we didn't kill Facebook tonight, honey. That's how the Filipinos get a chance to drop in and take a look at the show. And I'm glad I got these dark glasses here tonight. My God. 9:59. So we will be here 6 more minutes, guys, and I think you all have watched me cry enough for tonight. And I'm hoping I'll be doing better on Thursday. And like I said, if anybody's watching the show, would like to sponsor a kid a pair of shoes, want to help Eunice get gasoline for her motorcycle. It's about $20 so she can get back and forth to school. Her mother's medication is going to be needed again soon for her rehab for the stroke that she had. People were wondering if I had a stroke last night. And I said, well, there was a weird thing that happened just before I went to the bathroom to where it was like a bright light went off in my head and kind of snapped my head back, and just, it was weird. It obviously wasn't a stroke. I even started asking myself questions and looking at shit and reading shit, seeing how everything was coming out and processing, and it was slow, but you know, everything seemed to be going all right. And but yes, something weird happened, but it definitely wasn't a stroke, but something weird happened to where it was like a big, it's hard to describe what a black light would look like, but everything went black. There was a bright light. It snapped my head back. And then shit went south after that. It was already going south, no doubt, but it really started going south after that. And like I said, it could be a combination of things. I don't know. All I know is that no more gummies, in case that's got anything to do with it. No more sticks, in case that's got anything to do with it. I wouldn't think any of that shit would make you think you're paralyzed for 5 hours. That's why I'm wondering if there was something else involved. I don't know. And that would make you think you're going to die and be convinced of it. When doctors have told me 4 times I'm going to die and I didn't believe them. So, it is weird. It is weird. I don't even know what a grand mal seizure is. I have no idea. Like I said, all my facilities seem to be functioning about as well as ever, you know. I'm going a little slow tonight because I'm just kind of processing what last night was. You know, it's not that I can't converse with you. It's just, you know, I got no help in here tonight. And a few families needing help. And we just, like I said, if only 1,000 of those 10,000 subscribers got a membership, we'd never have to ask for a donation again. And we would have plenty of money to take care of all of our people. If only 1/10 of everybody that thought enough of this show to subscribe to it got a $3 membership, we'd never have to ask for anything again. But when you only get 20 people watching a live show, or 30 or whatever it is, and that's another thing, and that's another YouTube thing, and they're going to get pissed at me for saying this, but we have seen shows that we knew, because we'll see the counter up here, and there'd be times it would say 376 watching live and shit like that, back when we were really campaigning the show hard to see if viewers made a difference. And it would say 376 watching live, and then it might be 250 a little later, and it might go back up to 325, whatever. And then we get to the end of the show, and it said 12 people watched the show. Well, we knew from the questions alone that was bullshit. And our tracker was telling us how many people were watching the show. But YouTube pays on views, commercials, memberships, all that shit. And I went through once and broke it down. We make most of our money on memberships. We make almost nothing on views. Oh, and y'all remember when I was playing the Budos band, I was playing the theme song for like 30 seconds? They were hitting us for that. We had to pay the Budos band like 5 shows in a row. Because I was playing it for 30 seconds thinking I'd get by with it. No. You play that song for 30 seconds, they get revenue sharing as well. So, you're welcome, Budos band. You're welcome. 3 more minutes, guys, and that will be the 1 hour time limit. Like I said, I think y'all have watched me cry enough for. I thought I was going to get through, but Scooby, man, what a dog. He's just a good boy. Psycho is shit, loves to play, but he was not going to let me go, and maybe I hung around just for him. Teresa had a seizure that sounds something like it, but not a doctor. I don't know. I don't remember ever having this little bolt flash in my head before. Maybe once a long time ago. But when it happened, I'm going, something's fucked up. And I was hoping it wasn't anything horribly serious. How much for shoes? Well, there's 3 kids needing shoes that are $10 each. And then Eunice's motorcycle will be about $20 to fill it up. So those are the 2 top things on my list right now. Like I said, I'll try and get her a used TV down the road. Maybe when I get a bonus check. If I get a good sized bonus, maybe we can get them an inexpensive television somewhere. The shoes are for Kimberly's brothers. I did buy 1 pair of shoes, but I think she's got 3 left because she's got like 6 siblings. But Kimberly's got her shoes. We ordered her brother's Nikes yesterday. Very nice pair of shoes for about 10 or 11 bucks. And they look nice. So they look better than what they got. And so that is about it. And now Edge Copeland did say that he wouldn't be able to donate for a week or 2. The guy that I owe the Midnight Express picture to, as y'all know, I've had some other family issues involving surgeries this week. It's been a week. And I know y'all keep hearing it, but I am hoping to get everything bagged up, boxed up, and everybody that I owe pictures to, other than those that are coming here to pick them up, we'll get them, hopefully we can get them shipped out Monday or Tuesday next week. There was a couple of surgeries this week that I did not know that were already scheduled. Not for me, but other members. Let's see here. Heard my phone click. Let me see what that's about. Randy the Macho Man Satterley has just sponsored the 3 kids for the shoes. And well, that was very sweet of you, Randy. Thank you so much for doing that. And Kimberly, if you're watching, we'll have some good news for you about the shoes. I'll get with you after the show and then figure out who has shoes left. And we have had requests for uniforms come in for college kids and high school kids. They're $30 each. And when you can feed somebody for a month for $30 or $40, or you can buy them a uniform, you know, shame on the school for demanding these damn uniforms. And I know that they're not letting kids come to school that don't have them. But that's a crock of shit. So what do you do? But we have reached the end of our 1 hour time limit here. Well, actually I lied. We're 2.5 minutes away. So anybody got any final questions in? I do want to give you your whole hour. Like I said, I'll be back here Thursday night. We are going to have Ron H2O Waterman coming on. He's supposed to be on tonight, but I forgot. But fortunately, he double booked himself, so he had somewhere else to go. So Ron H2O Waterman, former OVW guy, was in the WWE there for a while. He will be coming on next Thursday night, assuming all of us will be here. So next Thursday night, Ron H2O Waterman, Anthony Scaramucci, as of now, August the 28th at 4 p.m. Shout out to our sponsors, Jimmy John's. Let's see. I will, honey, I will. Shout out to Arby's, Five Guys, Blaze, Carrabba, and our good friends over at Jimmy John's. And they have their boss badge now. We got Jimmy John's taking care of them, their boss badge. Blaze Pizza has their boss badge. So we're very happy that they have those. And so, you know, thank for the few of you that tuned in tonight that gave a shit. Thank you. Like I said, I don't guess most of you knew anyway. Guess some people will know now. But it was scary and enlightening in the same way. If you can fathom that. But when you think you're going to die and you're convinced of it, it'll put you in a weird place. So until Thursday night, if the powers above agree to let us go on Thursday night, we plan on seeing you Thursday night at around 9:05 p.m. And until then, I am the Starmaker for my co-hosts that never show up on Mondays. We said a good day.